go to the first qualifier,
yeah.
Teepee has a 1v4. Aches is dropping wraps. They're back, baby. It's awesome.
I thought they might have been, but they have definitely proven not to be.
Certainly
and you see a big band coming in here early from Zooma, Fast Hands.
Wow.
We have
some history.
We've seen these teams play online, scrimming a little bit, and the Faze guys have gone after this against Envy before. Let's see, I think we may actually see Quick Draw go as well. That's the combination that Faze did this time these two teams met up.
Well, if you haven't watched Ban Protect or maybe aren't entirely familiar with some of these perks, some people kind of refer to it as a crutch perk. It's one of those fast hands, one you kind of have to have on most of your loadouts for a lot of guys because it slows down the game quite a bit for different teams. Well, explain why you have to play differently when you don't have fast hands.
In a competitive match, I would say Blast Suppressor and Fast Hands are your two go-to perks.
Without question.
You need those on pretty much every class. So you get rid of Fast Hands, makes Quick Draw extremely valuable. I'm surprised you haven't seen any action come with Quick Draw on the side of Envy.
Yeah, it really just kind of slows it down. That or Blast Suppressor coming out, you're worried about sprinting, getting your gun up in time, being shown on the minimap. But let's take a look at some of the other stuff coming through. What does that Rapid Fire Protect tell you,
So Rapid Fire for me would have said the Pharaoh is going to come into play. Then now that the Vesper is gone, the VMP we've seen a lot of love lately. People going back and forth, the VMP or the Kudo, which one's better? The Rapid Fire was definitely trying to get the Pharaoh in the game. You see High Caliber going to go as well. And if you are Envy, I mean, I guess you're in a bad spot right there, right? Because you want to get that Pharaoh. That's kind of your play with the Rapid Fire Protect. You don't get the Pharaoh in play. Now you leave open like an M8 Rapid Fire. In the possibilities of that there. You see Cap going to go for Semtexes. So we're going to have stuns and flashes in this first one, something we didn't see often last week.
All right, well, let's take a look here as we're going to start to get into the specialist stage. We'll see what these guys are going to go with. You're going to see Scythe pop out. The top selection in the weapon category for sure throughout the beginning here of stage one. No surprises there, Matt.
And you're going to see Enable use Heat Wave. It's a great specialist ability to use to break those hills. Kinetic armor coming out of Slasher. Not surprised to see Teepee using Heat Wave as well. Heat Wave, man, we saw how effective it was last week. Surprised we don't see a lot of players trying to ban that out in North America.
Yeah, I think we talked with Jay a little bit on the post show on Thursday when we were recapping everything, and we saw Heat Wave start to get banned or used in the Ban Protect a bit more in Australia and Europe, because it was one that teams I don't think realized the potential of it early in here. I'm going to kick things off with Aches. Let's watch the first break here as we work for mid-map control, Matt.
So his team right now, they have that mansion spawn. You see Teepee, he's going to jump into the hill. There's two players playing on half wall for Faze. So what Faze is trying to do, just keep that hill contested, trying to pick up some kills, and then eventually going to jump out and take out Teepee. But he's actually going to fly over. Challenge has some cover from Aches and Cap, but you see 3 dead in the kill feed. Clay and Enable, both with ARs at half wall, doing a tremendous job.
Well, let's see, his attach is going to be your guy trying to get forward. I believe he had the concussions, trying to push anyone back, pushing from this front mid wall. You can see there's a couple players, look at the minimap, several players top and bottom mansion right now. Who's flanking through right now?
This first hill always plays pretty slow, maybe.
This will be big.
It's pretty easy to contest. You see Cap's going to pick up one, has the L car. He's not going to be able to pick up the second one, but he loves running that L car. When we see all 3 pistols used now, you see some players go with the RK5. Obviously, guys like Nagafen using the MR6, and then Cap still loves that L car.
All right, well now the rotation coming in as we're going to set up here for our second hard point at bottom mansion. You're going to see Jkap kind of watching the back. Now there's a player down by car, and that's going to be Attach who's going to be able to pick him up as he drops. He's going to be in a key position here to get some damage done on potential flanks. Teammate cleans up one, he snags the other. Now they're getting set up, one player there by top table.
And the one thing you're going to see from this Faze team, they're going to do extremely well. Actually, both teams, Clay and Aches, 2 very smart players in hardpoint, and their teams are always going to rotate properly. You're going to see those rotation battles be so much more important in this matchup, Maven. These guys, veterans of Call of Duty for a very long time, 2 of the best minds we have, I think, when it comes to strats and just smarts and what to do in situations. Excited to see these 2 teams battle it out.
Oh yeah, this is going to be an epic one for sure. You see Aches dropping low, able to pick one up there with the VMP. Can his team get rolling? I mean, right now, if you just take a look at the top right of your screen, when you're talking simply about kills and deaths, the only one really holding his own right now is Slasher. I want to switch on to him for a second, see what he was doing right. But when it comes to just the overall slang right now, it's really control for Faze for the most part, but the scoreboard you can see is very, very even.
But there's going to become a period in time you see Heat blasting his Heat Wave, not actually able to find that player where the guys on Faze are going to start to heat up. We saw this a lot during Advanced Warfare. The Faze guys, it'd be kind of close. They'd keep the games going, then Zooma would just bust out on an incredible streak. Same with Attach, and you got to start blowing them out if you're Envy. And it's interesting. I would say Slasher, that Heat Wave is just so dominant. I would say Slasher probably has the most pressure on the Envy guys, out of all the Envy guys. You would say that's fair, right?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, it kind of comes across that way when you listen to their scrims, just kind of the guys going out a little bit. I think maybe the reason he's getting heated a little sometimes is just feels a lot of pressure with this team. You know, teaming with two of the most winningest players of all time. Jkap won champs last year. I mean, he definitely is playing with some guys that I guess have proven themselves
you
a
are
bit more.
teaming with three of the biggest names in competitive Call of Duty history.
Yeah.
Right? On one of the biggest brands in competitive Call of Duty history. So all the eyes are on Slasher because he's, quite frankly, like a huge part of this team in the slaying department. I mean, you expect him to put up great numbers in respawn. You expect him to be very smart in S&D, come up with some big plays. And I think there's a world of pressure on him, and I think that could be why they get into arguments sometimes. You know, maybe he feels that pressure, and it might not be from his teammates, but maybe he takes it out on his teammates a little bit. I think that's going to be something as we get deeper into stage 1 that you're going to have to look out for Envyus.
Could not agree more. We've rotated now out to Rock. Still going to be a very tight game. You know, half of Hardpoint really is just about controlling spawns. And Matt, I want you to give a little bit of rundown. I know we're getting a lot more viewers. We've seen Activision, Treyarch have been promoting within the game, you know, pushing a lot of these casual players that maybe haven't played competitive before, starting to watch. You know, we've seen their responses on Reddit. We've seen them responding on Twitter as well. For someone that might be a little newer to the game, kind of give a quick rundown of what Hardpoint is and how it plays, Matt.
So obviously Hardpoint's an objective-based game mode. You're going to be playing around the hills as the hills are going to rotate every 60 seconds. You know, one of your main players is going to be these anchor guys, and you see right here is a perfect example. Faze gives up on that one hill to get extra time on this next one. So it's obviously about going into the hills, winning your gun battles, and then taking it over. But it's more about controlling those areas on the map that's going to spawn your team closer to the hill that has a better chance to take that hill over.
And unfortunately for him, his Purifier is running out right when he probably could have done the most damage with it, right when they're going to push that top bunker side. We're going to watch Enable coming through. He's got his Heatwave set up. He might be able to flank a couple, but he's got one on his left here. Matt, he's probably going to get picked up.
I would have liked to see him wait until his teammates are ready to push through the front right there. You saw on the mini-map they had a pinch setup, and that's a huge gun battle won there by Clay. Zooma doing a nice job with the scythe as well. It's going to be Faze able to take the hill back. But when Enable's on that flank there, Maven, if his teammates would have pushed the hill through the front, he picks up one kill in the back. That's going to force the opposing team to spawn as far away from the hill as possible. And that's what you want to do when you're trying to break these setups.
All right, well, let's take a look. They're trying to hold it off right now still, Matt. Clay's going to drop. They're trying to get the break in. That's going to be Aches with the M8. I mean, he's going to be able to get, what, I think in probably 6 or 7 seconds. But now you can see everyone's starting to rotate out here. Let's take a look at the setup. First one is going to be Teepee. He's set up with the VMP, and I believe he got pushed pretty quickly from top mansion. That's going to be attached.
A player we actually haven't seen too much of, as you see attached goes down at the melee of Cap, is Zooma. 17 and 15 right now.
Well, I'm going to go with him off the spot.
Very nice job. Let's see what he's up to.
Yeah, I mean, it was Slasher leading the way early when you're just talking strictly about kills, but now Zooma's taken over the scoreboard here at 17 and 15. He's trying to get some picks. He'll be worried about half ball and really this push there from Connector coming in from Rocks. You can see. Now, for those of you at home that might be, again, new to watching competitive, those red outlines you're going to see is going to be the opposing team players highlighted there. So, no, it's not a perk anyone's using.
Yeah.
Not any sort of cheats.
That was something people were tweeting me like, how do I get that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, unfortunately, it's not that easy.
Yeah, it looks like a permanent vision pulse only, almost, right? So it's basically just so you at home can understand where the other team's set up, a better understanding of where players are moving. So the two things you really want to focus on the most are going to be those X-rays and also the top left of your screen, paying attention to where people are rotating on the mini map.
And I love what Faze is doing right now. So they're losing in this game, right? But they're rotating early to these money hills, and eventually they're going to be able to win some gunfights maybe and hold one off for a full 60 or maybe even 50 seconds. And you see they're winning some gunfights in Mansion right now. Envy just keeps flooding through the front or through the back. They're not going to get a lot of time. They have to get a good calculated push together. You see it's going to be a nice job of Faze holding it down. It's going to be Envy contesting the hill. That player's taken out shortly. Should go back into the control of Faze.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the spawners that had to rotate out just to see if Zooma and Clay might be able to break. Zooma gets one. Clay drops. Can Zooma get more? He's got one behind a couch, another one there.
Big two-piece
set up
from
by
Cap
lower
right there.
bar, and Cap going off, holding it down. Speaking of Cap, world champ last year, let's take a look on with him as he does have the L-car in his hand. He's got his Purifier ready to go if needed. This isn't the worst hard point to use it on. I mean, it's going to be this or bunker probably, but it looks like he's probably saving it for bunker.
You probably save that for bunker just to be safe, right? I mean, you have a decent lead right now. There's no reason to just kind of waste that on, because he would have gotten, what, the last, 10, 15 seconds on that. Waste that in case the game gets close and you have to break bunker.
It's not even bad to use here to break two, I guess, if there's a couple people in the hard point, but it's a lot more open here,
this hill,
obviously.
I think, over on half wall, it's a lot more open. Obviously, there's a lot of angles that the team can spawn from and come in, take players out at long range with assault rifles. I'm not a big fan of the Purifier on this hill. I think you save it for bunker, or you would have used it there in mansion.
Well, is there a point where, you know, you're down so much, you know, you're worried you're going to be basically out of the time by bunker comes around, that maybe you have to use it a little bit earlier?
No.
Or no matter what, you just get that early rotation, you try to lock down that 60, save that specialist?
When one team is in the hill, the clock on the overall game is not moving.
So you're never out of it.
So you're never really out of the game. I think that's the way you kind of got to look at it, and especially with a hill like bunker, you're able to take a full 60. If you play it right, you are able to get a full 60 seconds on that hill. I think you use the Purifier there, whether you need to break or you need to just hold off players. And I think this kinetic armor, it's another one you use on that hill as well. I would not be surprised if Envy tries to take all of that hill, which they pretty much did. You see none of them rotate, and then they're going to try and take a full bunker.
Well, Clayster is the one that's going to be a nuisance. This is a hill where you can really get rocking, especially with ARs, with the M8. A lot of long-range engagements compared to some of the other hard points. So let's see what Clay can get done. He's mostly worried about an outscorts push right now, and now coming from behind. He's able to pick up Slasher. We saw the player. Look where they're spawning now. They're basically spawning kind of back mansion and mid-map, and they're going to be rotating over. Can Faze hold on here? One big gunfight win there by Clay. He's got one up top as well. That player pushed right behind him, and he's going to drop.
Well, the things that Envy was kind of preaching the other day in their scrims, and I was watching, is that they were really having issues breaking the hills because they wouldn't wait for each other. Like, one person would just go, pick up one kill, and then they would just drop. And the other team, obviously, you know, when you're controlling the hill, you spawn pretty close to it, you're able to just trade those kills effectively. In this game, though, it seems like Envy doing a good job breaking those setups. Seems like every setup of Faze thus far has been broken by Envy.
Well, now we have Clay. He was the one that's going to kind of set up this rotation coming in. Oh, he got a good spawn here, too, as his team already got set up in bunker. He's going to be able to watch any kind of push coming from his backside. Nice headshot coming in there on Teepee. He's still got the entire team. Yeah, look at the X-ray right now. You can see everyone flying at him. He's got the MR6 out, but he's going to fall.
I would not have been opposed to seeing him use the Purifier right there.
Well, this is the guy that's really got to get it down.
Yeah.
He's got a scythe just teed up here. All players in front of him. There's
Zooma
one.
Is so
Can he get two? There's a third. Oh, fourth to the back.
And
he's got full streaks.
Oh,
grabs
my.
another. It's the Zooma highlight show. 35 and 27. 7 streak right now. Finally going to fall, but the damage has been done, and they've climbed back in this one.
And you see a Slasher coming in, trying to pick up one. He's going to kills just be trading back and forth. Maybe this hill is absolute mayhem. Aches coming in with his scythe. See Cap coming in, he's going to have a big gunfight. Well, look at how accurate his shots are.
Ultimately, it didn't matter a lot because I know Zooma got a lot of kills. The streaks is going to be the important thing about that.
Right. When do you use that Cerberus and Lightning?
Yeah, but the big thing is they had that spawn the whole time, so Envy could just flood over and over and over again.
Eventually they were going to overwhelm them.
Yes, eventually they're going to get a break because they were spawning so close to the hard point. What could you have done differently if you were Faze there?
I mean,
it's tough with bunker.
I honestly think Zooma probably could have played a little more passive with the scythe. I mean, he's in the middle of that doorway just challenging it. There's no reason to. He could have played up on that, that top railing area and just looked over a teammate, and players would have just darted in trying to fly at him. And he actually uses his Hellstorm and the Cerberus. So 2 streaks down. I believe he still has a Lightning in his back pocket. So we'll see when he decides to use that, probably out by snow.
Well, I'm going to stick with Zooma pretty much throughout spawns here just because he's on an absolute tear. He's 41 and 31, trying to deal with 2 players here mid-map, tries to just fly out there. You talked about him being over-aggressive sometimes. He is just soaring. He puts
a ton of pressure on the other team. I mean, look at a guy like Scump, right? He just keeps flying in those hills. Sometimes doesn't win a lot of those gunfights. Yeah, you can argue sometimes not making the best pushes, but he puts so much pressure on the other team that it just causes chaos, and eventually he's just going to break through and heat up. You see the same thing with Zooma.
And Jkap, I think the last time we played at Mansion, he was trying to get him behind there at Car. He's able to pick up one before falling, and he was the one that was going to potentially be able to possibly spawn them in the back. So picking up Jkap there is huge with regards to spawns coming in for Team Envious now. They're all trying to flood in
But look
Mansion.
at Envy. Nobody's waiting for each other. Like, Cap's going to try and push into this hard point, but look at all the red arrows. I mean, now they get that favorable spawn out of Faze, where you saw one player spawn at bunker, but he was by himself for an extended period of time. His teammates did a nice job pushing down that mansion, but exactly what we talked about, a little bit of an issue with Envy right now. They don't exactly push together too much.
Well, nice job there by Slasher. He pops that kinetic armor perfectly, stays alive. waits for his teammate support. He cleans up one. He's got another mid-map. Can't deal with that. There's 2 down right now for Envyus. Can they break back in? 245 is the score. They only need a couple of more points here. You see the Hellstorm coming in, but it's still Zooma going to be contesting. He still has streaks to work with. He's 47 in 33, Matt. They only need 1 point right now. Let's see as he calls in. Going to try and clear it out, and Faze is going to be able to take it 250 to 229. Zooma,
and it's exactly the type of game we saw would happen. I mean, you looked at it, and Envy had a lead for the first half, but Faze just did a nice job rotating. And then eventually, Zooma goes on a long streak. I believe Clay ends up going on a streak there towards the end. Faze, obviously in the game, they win it, but definitely could have worked in the opposite way. And so we see a Slasher Vesper ban early, and then you see Enable protecting Overkill. So it's usually when we see banned out. I like the idea for Faze to protect that. Able will obviously keep a primary weapon and a sniper rifle. That's what they're planning for with that.
All right. Well, yeah, like you said, Overkill typically not going to make it into most S&Ds, and there. So you see Enable on Faze protect the Overkill. That means you're obviously going to want to have somebody sniping with an SMG in their back pocket. Jkap goes right after the popular and primary snipe here for all the players.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you can go with the Locust after that, but the SVG is, I think it's probably the best sniper.
Less hit markers really is the big thing. You seem to get more of that one-shot, one-kill when it comes to the SVG.
That was the other one that I could have saw with Overkill, the Argus. Like an M8 Argus class, getting in close
scary,
towards that,
right?
Yeah, getting in close towards that B site.
Yeah, because you want, for that entire push, you have this like 200-yard lane outside when you're pushing
I'm not
the B.
even saying on offense. I'm saying defense.
Well, either or. I mean, you want an M8 to get set up. I mean, you're going to have early engagements, but once you actually get in and around B,
do we see
the M8 doesn't do you as much good.
Do we see fast hands again here? Zoom is taking a while. Nope. Flashes, so we're going to get all the tacticals out. It's kind of what I expected a little bit outside of the Overkill and the SVG. Those are pretty much.
Those are kind of tied together for the most part.
Right, once one comes in, the other one goes out. So I think those are pretty much standard. I think you're going to see a heat wave on both sides, kinetic on both sides as well. Don't think we're going to see any weapons in this one. We'll see active camo probably come out. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I didn't check. I wanted to look through some of the builds classes in the last game, see if we were seeing overclock. We've started to see it more and more on these players, especially, sometimes when you're running heat wave, you can have it up what seems like every minute, basically, you have a heat wave prepped and charged when you're running overclock. Is it something you expect?
Like you can get one every other hill.
Basically, yeah.
Seems like.
And one solid break could be all the difference in a game, really. So it certainly has a gigantic impact. Taking a look here, you see camo for both sides, heat wave for both sides, and kinetic. The difference comes at the end. Zooma is going to rock Overdrive. Psychosis is going to be coming in for Aches. Is there one of those two that you prefer a little bit more on this particular map?
I like Psychosis on this map.
And tell me why.
And we talked a little bit about it when I was playing with Teepee and Clay yesterday, that Psychosis down that beat street or even Glitch. I think those are two really good ones. I believe we saw Burns.
It was Burns and Tipsy, yeah.
Burns and Tipsy made a really nice play.
That was the qualifier, I think, right?
Yeah, the qualifier. I think Burns had Glitch. He went in first, going down towards that alley, towards the B-bomb site. He goes around the corner, gains that information. If anyone's there, glitches right back. So it doesn't use it in a gunfight like how you would expect, but as soon as he sees somebody there or gets shot, glitches right back, and then Tipsy able to come in, finish off that player.
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously not going to have a glitch in this particular one, but I do, again, Psychosis can be very, very effective here. Now, Overdrive, is that one that is just depending on the score of the game, or do you prefer it on offense or defense maybe a little bit more on this particular map?
So I think the two you could have kind of argued, obviously. Well, actually three. I think you could have argued Psychosis, Camo, and Overdrive on this one. Camo on this map is kind of difficult from the standpoint that it's so spread out. There's so many long sites that you pop Camo and you only have it for a limited period of time. I don't know if you can use it as effectively as a map like Breach, where you can get really close to the other team fast. Sure. I think Overdrive and Psychosis, two very good picks on this map. I'm a fan of Overdrive to get in towards that B site, or if you hit the mid fast, I think Overdrive is definitely a must-have. All
right, well, you're getting a map fly through right now of Infection. Right there, you're getting kind of an angle. You're getting a wraparound, really, of the A-bomb site, kind of seeing the angles, the cover that players can use when getting set up on that side of the map. Shot of Graveyard here as well, and again, if you're a new player, just try to kind of pay attention to what you're seeing on the screen, and Matt and I discussing it with regards to callouts. So you hear us refer to grandmas and church and the B-bomb site and mid statue and all these various callouts. The more you can kind of pick up on that stuff, the easier it is to kind
There's
of
that B street.
follow the
so
flow
you're
of the
going to
game.
see all the battles go down.
Yeah, this is one side of the game. It extends down that side a little bit more, but that's where pretty much half the gun engagements are going to happen, at least in the opening 30 to 40 seconds of a round.
Yeah, you're going to see the offense probably hit that pretty hard.
Yeah, over and over and over again until somebody's like, you guys want to hit A this time?
A is so hard.
It is,
because the defense gets there pretty quick. There's a lot of nice spots you can sit to watch people coming through those broken homes, and
well, you can
one player can take out two to three easy.
There's a spot you can lay kind of in barn there where you can see through the tiniest of cracks anything that's like flying out there, and it's impossible to really spot those players. But let's switch over to the offense. It's going to be Faze kicking it off, and sure enough, we're going to have several players. It looks like they're actually going to do a 2-2 split, kind of 2 players going middle, 2 out towards B. But look at this aggressive push from the defensive side of things.
Yeah, this is what I expected out of Envy. This is a lot of the stuff that seemed like Teepee liked to do. You see Zooma comes flying out of the B bomb site right there, gets caught off guard by Slasher, so now Envy starts to back up now that they have that first blood.
I like that. I mean, a lot of times you'll see, maybe 1 or 2 players play outside. Sometimes some will set up inside of mid or just try to push right in. They just did a 3-stack really quick and aggressive there. Like you said, able to pick up 1. And as they're getting forward, Aches is able to grab another. It's going to be 4v2. Clayster and Enable left. Enable's going to be by this A bomb site. And this is what I mentioned. You don't really get towards A until things sort of fall apart. So as soon as they got first blooded, you saw it happen. But Clay in a prime position here to potentially flank a couple players.
And he's going to put shots down on Slasher. He's going to get 1. He's got another one directly in front of him. Fantastic shots there. Taking out Cap. It's going to be last one alive. And Faze, if they win this round, I think this is one Envy kind of gives away.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'm not sure if he picked up a VMP or if that was an overkill class that he had set up. Let me hop. Can you check Clay on the other screen real quick? We'll have to take a look on the second side. But that was the definition of overkill paying off right there, if that's how he had it set up. I got to think he had that VMP in his back pocket, but we'll take a look in the next round. But you'll see him getting it done with the Shiva then as well.
Not
Clay
shocked to see Clay using the Shiva. I mean, he was so good with the FAL and Black Ops 2, just those semi-auto rifles. I believe you see Enable using it as well. I'll actually be checking out Clay's class, see if he had a overkill. No, Clay's actually got an L-car in his back pocket, so he just ended up picking it off of somebody. So smart play right there by Clay. And it's those little things, which is really interesting because even you do it.
That's what I struggle with. I totally struggle with that.
It's like, why would you not pick up a VMP as well?
So, yeah, if you're a new player, maybe learning ways to get better, even if you're playing in public matches, if you only have a main AR, no secondary, there's someone that dies near you with an SMG, pick that bad boy up. It is not going to hurt to have 2, especially with fast hands. You're going to be able to fly between those quickly.
I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like that's like an obvious tip, but it's something you just don't see people do.
No, I never do it.
It's like really odd.
Because you die so quickly in Call of Duty. The action's so fast and furious. Sometimes you think like, oh, I don't have time to pick this up. I got to keep moving. But there's a snipe coming in for attach. He's able to pick up Aches mid-mac. Jkap has to back down as well as he's taking shots. Enable's going to grab 1, but all of a sudden, by himself is Cap. He gets cut down. 2-0 lead for Faze. And right now,
Envy wasn't expecting the Shiva plays, I don't think.
Now,
because they are just really causing a lot of problems. Because they're trying to get that guy on top rock to challenge Clay in the back of that right B street. And with an M8 to Shiva at that range, the Shiva's going to win that. If Clay knocks down the shots.
Yeah, I'd say the closer the range comes, I'd favor the M8 more and more. Right. But when you're talking long
range, yeah, and they try and challenge Enable, obviously, and he's got a Shiva as well. Just able to win those gunfights relatively easily. And he takes out 2 players right there pretty quick.
All right, well, let's take a look. It's going to be Clay and Enable, both 3-0, but that's going to be Clayster getting first blood. I'm going to stick with Enable for now just because he has not died yet. They have a 2-0 advantage in this one. And again, just kind of pushing towards this B street is attached. I thought for a second he might try to get aggressive on that side, but he's going to actually back up.
He had 1 getting close, trying to challenge him. And I wonder if Faye is going to go back and try and challenge this A site again. You see the Envy defense just spread out, watching every part of the map.
And that's, again, what I meant about things when they kind of fall apart, because they're always going to pretty much send 3 out towards B. See if they can get a kill. If they don't, if they get first blooded like they were, things sort of fall apart. You see them kind of spread across the map, but now they're able to answer back, and this should be a kill for Enable. The timing, if he would have pushed, he would have had it perfectly, able to catch a guy in barn, but it's going to work out absolutely the opposite way, as that player is going to back all the way back up into A. Now I want to take a look.
He might be able to get bombed down, though. I don't think this player sees him. This is Aches, and this is a fantastic spot where you usually see a lot of players sit in. He's going to jump out challenge right away, and he's going to get gunned by Enable with the MR6. Enable picks up another Could we see a 1v3? This would be unbelievable.
Hey, he's got his heat wave too, and a dart, and an HC car. Is this somewhere where you decide to use one of these, and he's going to end up getting cut down, and it's going to be Jkap able to pick up the defuse here and get around victory here for Envy.
But Enable picks up those streaks. That's pretty big going further into this map. Right there, Enable almost makes an incredible play. If he's actually looking out towards Grave, he might have used his heat wave. I could have saw the heat wave being used that one. If you have heat wave in that situation, I think that's a solid spot to use it.
Oh, yeah, hide inside a barn. Wait till you see anything pop it. You're going to survive. Yeah. Like 9 out of 10 times, unless they get really lucky. I know we've seen a couple plays where people are picking up kills through those heat waves. Now, it looks like a player, I believe it was Attach, did drop out. Basically, how it runs, he's going to just need to join back in. They'll send an invite, and he's going to have to get back in at his earliest convenience. May have an impact on this round here, but the action will continue as Envy is going to have a 4-3 advantage right now.
I like the play that Faze is doing, the man down. They're just going to hit. Because Envy's probably thinking, oh, well, we're man up. We're just going to overwhelm them at the B site. And Faze actually hits mid, goes all the way into the B site. Now Envy has absolutely no control of it. Aches is going to win a gunfight there against Zooma. Does that player in the corner?
And that's the HC car getting shut down, and you did see Attach is able to load back in. So good stuff there as he's going to get back into this one. Teepee trying to get it down. It's going to be Clayster right now, 3-1, trying to get the bomb carrier. Can he get away? That's the big question.
How is he alive?
Slide. Get out of there, Clay. You can do it. He tried to catch one there front. Church not able to pick it up with the L car. I mean, he didn't really have a chance there.
But he was alive for way too long.
He got the bomb down on site. That was the only thing that maybe gave him some sort of chance really to win that round. But unfortunately, kind of at that range for the L car where it comes a little more difficult there to melt that player with the M8.
So when do you think Enable uses the car and dart? I think he uses the car.
Yeah, the car came out last round.
But is the dart more of a defensive or offensive streak? I would say probably defense. Use that to scout around, but
I mean, you could really, if you use it on defense, you're going to force them to kind of hide inside of their building, hide inside a barn, hide inside a church early on. You're going to be so terrified once you hear that thing pop, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, nobody wants to see that dart come flying. Now you see Attach definitely have some issues, and it's pretty rough for the Faze team right now. As you see, they're going to try and play pretty slow here on offense, just trying to get that first blood. That's really what they're trying to do. Just get the players on Envy poking out. And this is their best chance at a kill. Zooma was able to kill this guy last round. This guy on the stairs, I believe it was Teepee.
Yeah, it's going to be Teepee. So
he challenged us last round, and he got taken out by Zooma pretty quick. I think this is the guy.
Right too.
Yeah, this is the guy that they're going to try and single out, I think.
Well, and Teepee, I mean, he's a phenomenal player, but not someone you really want in a one-on-one gunfight with Zooma, who could be one of the most talented players when you're just talking raw skill, aiming ability. Not the gunfight you really want to pick for him, especially when he's got a Shiva in hand at range.
Right, and you see 25 seconds left on the clock. He's going to have to push at this point. You see Slasher's going to take out Enable. Teepee going to be able to gun down Zooma. Bomb in an awful spot. Clay, the last one alive. He's got one coming around the corner. He's able to pick him up. I think he's just trying to stay alive as long as possible here.
Yeah, right now, I mean, you know your teammates having connection issues. Just trying to extend these rounds, really the distance, make sure they can get him back in here as early as possible. Not sure exactly what's going on Attach's end, but hopefully we can get him back in here as soon as possible. As you're going to see the final kill cam going to be Jkap there, winning one on Outskirts. So now, Envyus has won 3 rounds in a row. They're trailing, by the way, 1-0 in this series. Faze able to take the hard point in a really back-and-forth game in case you missed that one. Now, the answer is here. I mean, until you can get Attach back in the game, you imagine they're going to save all their streaks, save all their specialists, right, for when they have the full squad back together.
Yeah, you're going to see the fast hit by Envy over at B yet again. It's going to be Enable, last one alive. And it's just, there's really nothing they can do on D. I mean, if Envy is going to hit B Street fast and they're going to challenge these gunfights, obviously, I don't think I have to tell you at home that you can bait and switch pretty easy when you have one more player than the other team.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing there is if you're going to have a chance in a 4v3 situation, I mean, it's going to be S&D. As you can, he gets in like a second too late, so he won't be able to be in this round. But we'll see how they decide to play this offensive series here. Did he actually? I take it back. He did get in. All right, so Attach back in action. Hopefully his connection issues going to be taken care of a bit. Look at this aggressive play. Zooma's been rocking that Shiva, playing pretty passively. That's not a gunfight you want to take. That's going to be a tough one there with the player playing behind the rock, and you've got a VMP. Enable going to grab one though. Faze back to business.
But I tell you what though, Enable and Clay have done a hell of a job keeping them in this game. I mean,
so they both started out 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically, I mean, Faze completely in control. They've kept it relatively close. Now that attached back in, he's going to get a hit marker on the guy, and that's why you want the SVG in the game.
That's a kill with the SVG, I think, without question. There's a reason players prefer that. You know, if you're on the Faze sniping team, you might prefer the Locust because it shoots a little bit faster, zooms in a little bit quicker. But when you're talking about actually picking up the kills in an S&D situation, you don't want to have that one in your hands. But all of a sudden, it's attached in 1v2. He's got the snipe. He's got the VMP to go. Can he stay alive? He's trying to push forward. There's a player trying to stick the bomb right now. I want to check the timer right now, and he's got it. It should be done just a second as they are going to get the defuse.
Yeah, Slasher came into that bomb site and picked up 2 big kills. He picks up 1 with the pistol, and then Clay sitting all the way over by that A bomb site, trying to look at the cross. He just guns him down.
And that's when you got to win if you're Faze. I know it's been a frustrating couple rounds trying to get attached back in it, but you have the full squad in now. You get the first blood. You get bombed down 4v3. That's a round you've got to take. The big clutch, like you said, coming in from Slasher. I want to watch him on the offensive side. He's going to be 6-5, leading the way for his side.
What do they have specialist-wise, Envy? Let's see if they can use anything this round. You have Teepee with Heat Wave. You have Cap with active camo and kinetic and psychosis. They have everything. They're gonna use it all this round.
Oh yeah, this should be a round
the active.
You think about it, they're starting to get forward.
If you have active, just push into the bomb site. There you go. There's no reason to let Aches die in there, and it's going to be Slasher trying to get the bomb down.
Can they kill him? He's so tagged up, but he's going to get it down. Question is, can he get out? Able to mark one there with the
he doesn't
RK5.
plan it.
He decides that he wants to fly. I thought he actually got it down. He did pull off just before because his teammates all drop around him. And do they use?
That is such a weird play.
So we saw kinetic pop. We saw psychosis. Was the active used?
I don't know. I didn't see what Cap did, but I understand using the psychosis, right, on the B street. You use that to draw out a player at the end of the B street, firing shots. When you use kinetic, why follow that up when nobody has shot in that direction? Why not just charge into the B site?
They've used everything except for... well, no, sorry, on the other side. Nabal has Heat Wave. Can you check the Envy side for me?
So Teep has his Heat Wave still, and everyone else is empty.
All right, so this is Heat Wave versus Heat Wave then. That's all that's up for either team. So FaZe really giving themselves a chance. That was a massive round to win there. Envy really kind of went for the throat, not unfortunately able to connect. Zooma going to be able to get the first blood. That is what he's known for, and that's going to give them the advantage here as Enable gets bombed down. Now, where is he going to set up with his Shiva? It looks like they kind of want to go hunting for this player set up there in Graveyard.
Well, this is the player that kind of broke their setup the last time. You're going to see a car come in from the side of Envy. It's going to get taken out. Look at this. Clay coming up behind 2. Going to get 1. Zooma finishes off the next guy. Slasher, the last one alive for Envy. He is not going anywhere near the bomb.
This one's got round 11 written all over it despite the connection issues for Attach. FaZe really showing their resilience here. He's able to pick up 1. He's not got enough time to do anything. You can see the bomb on the other side of the map. Not sure what he's trying to work on as he's still 300 away from any kind of streaks.
Zooma's got to be close to overdrive as well. I'm going to check that at the beginning of the round.
Sure,
he's got to be very close to overdrive.
I'll go to Zooma to kick things off here and take a look. And yeah, if you can...
Well, that's a huge round. Envy goes for the kill shot.
I love when you can do that on the other screen. Got to hop through, tell everybody what they have. I mean, honestly, obviously, when I'm on the main screen, I don't want to switch through constantly. Players will start having fits if I'm just hopping through everybody. But who do you want me to check? Zooma, right?
So look how close Zooma is to
Very
overdrive.
close, but not
and he's 100 from a car.
So that could be good for round 11, absolutely.
Well, Envy goes for the kill shot, and they use all of their specialist abilities. Now they're going to use a car as well. They don't win this round, Maven. This is not a good sign for Envy.
Well, Teepee started out 0-4. He's really started to pick it up. I'm relying on Aches, your veteran, your leader. He's struggling right now. 3-6, but this is where the big boys come to play, as this is in round 10. As you see, streaks getting called in, not able to connect with anything.
Envy's burned through everything at this point. I mean, they have burned through streaks. They've burned through abilities. They have nothing in their advantage. So Zooma's going to have that overdrive. I don't think he's going to use it this round unless he wants to go on a long flank and hit it fast. But
he starts round 11 with it, I would think.
Yeah,
unless it's needed
I would say
here.
so as well.
And he can't get too aggressive here.
He saves it for round 11. I mean, unless he has taken
now
here,
he knows the call came in. So now they're going to know he's going to need help. So it's going to be on Enable mid-map. The player outside, why am I not able to find him? That's going to be Clayster. Clayster's going to be in one position here to maybe wrap around as well. Enable and Zooma going to be traded. Enable's going huge. He's able to pick up 2, turn this into a 2v2. Can Clay get the kill? Hit markers for days, not able to connect. And the question is, does the bomb get down? Cap going to be trying to plant it now. He's in a 2v1. He's got time to do it. It's all going to fall on Clayster's shoulders here to push round 11.
Come out towards mid-map, right towards him. It's going to get shots in one. There's another one challenging him.
There's the push.
Fantastic switch
that was
by
incredible.
Tap and Aches right
He
there.
didn't even see him on his screen, really. He was trying to deal with that player in the back, hard scoped in, and he doesn't even have a chance in this fight with Aches.
Should Clay have just gone straight down B Street and challenged? See, Fast Hand's gone again, and
there it is right away.
Yep, there
Clay's going
right
to ban
away.
Fast Hand, so not shocked to see that. That seems to be the thing they really want to target going up against this MV team. And now, when we talk about, I want to apologize a little bit for the delay between those maps. I mean, sometimes it's waiting on the new host, the lobby to get set up. There's a lot of things that can delay us just a couple of minutes.
Players got to go to the bathroom. I get it.
Yeah, the main thing here, I think,
we can't.
is making, yeah, no, we're not going anywhere,
No.
is making sure that Attach was ready to go. He had some stability issues
Overdrive.
with his connection.
Yep.
I think we're just making sure he's going to be ready. Now, yep, Overdrive going to be banned here by Enable. That's a really popular one to be taken out when it comes to this particular game mode. You saw the Vesper. I mean, that's been number 2 to go, I think, every single game.
How upset are you when you see Cap ban tacticals? Bothers me a little bit.
Because he used to be the tactical king. Well, do you think that's...
Double
all right,
stun Jkap, man.
yeah, but do you think that's partially... All right,
Double stun Cap.
When you're
It's
playing
gone.
Black Ops 2, it was a slower game. Tacticals were so important. With the previous title being Advanced Warfare, and a lot of these players getting in the mindset of playing much faster, not relying on grenades so much, it was such a faster game. Do you think that kind of translates the mentality here? Maybe why teams don't want to play with tacticals as much is they want to play faster?
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. It's one of the.
I mean, you kind of get in the habit.
But yeah, it's pretty
get
good.
in the
point.
habit of the movement, the fast play,
Right.
the go. When you slow it down, I mean, it's just it's drastically different. I mean, watch Black Ops 2 gameplay versus Advanced Warfare. You feel like you're watching different titles.
Yeah, oh, without a doubt. Something you actually, we both kind of missed there towards the end of the ban and protect. We'll talk about it a little bit, but you saw active camo go as well. So you see Overdrive and camo go, and that's what's awesome about this game is that you see the adjustments week to week. Last week, how many big plays in uplink did we see with active camo?
A ton. I mean, we saw. I mean, just Clayster, since he's in this game, I mean, just that one infection uplink we saw last week, we saw him have a phenomenal defensive stand with camo.
Right.
Then a pretty poor play offensively with it that could have been a dunk if he would have picked up a kill or two with it. So it can be a game changer. When you have something that can guarantee points, like I think Overdrive and camo can almost guarantee a one-pointer in most positions. As long as you get a good toss, it guarantees it. You can't say that for the weapons so much. I mean, can you get set up with a scythe and go nuts? I mean, we saw Proofy, I think, in the online qualifier, get set up infection back of the base, just lining him up, goes like a 10 streak. Is it possible? Sure, but if you just want to guarantee yourself a one-point play, just make sure you get some points on the board. I mean, camo and Overdrive, I think, are 2 tops for me, really. Just
Next one's probably Kinetic.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You see Kinetic come out from both sides. So.
Kinetic just as good. Yeah, that's those 3. It's kind of your trifecta there of effective uplink scoring hero specials.
Camo's so good. Obviously, Overdrive, you're able to pick up the drone, just fly by everyone. Camo's so good is because you get the drone, you pop it, and it's just really hard to target that player. Whether he's in air, you can't really kind of aim on him the right way.
If you were watching, so there's a little bit, this is something we're trying to get fixed as well on the kind of the back end of the game, but you sometimes in Codcaster, we can't tell. I think it's if you switch to them after they hit it, you won't see that they're actually camo. So we didn't understand. I think it was the end of the game.
Apathy.
It was apathy. I'm like, why aren't they hitting him? Like, how is he not scoring? Remember, he runs out of movement. He could have tied the game, but he can't get through. Somehow survives. And it's because he actually had camo. We didn't realize it at the time. But that camo, it showed right there. There were 2 players that were just trying to hit him and just could not do it because you don't get that aim assist, which is so crucial here.
2 scythe players in this game as well. It's going to be Aches on the side of Envy, Zooma on the side of Faze, but watch out for Cap with the Annihilator. Very good with that Annihilator pistol, especially just leading that drone carrier, trying to get those scores. Excited to see the Annihilator in this one. I think, we talk about it, I feel like almost every week now. You need more weapons on the map. Like, they're great in situations, and those situations can just open up lanes for your team, or they can be great on the defensive end.
They're just such big swings. When you talk about the Annihilator on the side, the issue is if you pop it effectively and you pick up, let's say, anywhere between like 3 and 6 kills, something like that. You use it very effectively, it's amazing. It could be a game changer. But when you pop that scythe at a poor moment, make a poor decision, just get your head torn off right away.
It's all situational play. It's a situational
waste.
play. I mean, you use it in the right situation, it can totally throw the game in your favor.
Yeah, no, it can, but I'm saying, like, let's say you have a heat wave and you use it poorly. Oh, well, I'm going to have it again in a minute. It's not that big of a deal. If you pop a scythe and don't use it effectively,
You need to make it count.
You have to. Like, you have to make it count.
In
Whereas I
this
feel
game,
like abilities, you kind of have a little more freedom to just spam them a bit.
With Overdrive and Active gone, though, what else do you really, like, where else are you going?
No, I agree with you. No, I think they're the weapons to use. I do also understand they're a little bit more risky, right, than when you compare them to abilities.
We've actually seen Clay use the Ripper a little bit.
Oh, I'd love to see him start slicing and dicing.
Yeah, when I was playing with him yesterday, he was using it. I wonder if we see it at some point, during stage 1, the Ripper. It's a ton of fun.
All right, well, everyone pushing here for top mid control as they're trying to lock down the uplink. Now, Matt, again, for the new viewers at home, maybe haven't watched a lot of uplink, give them a little tutorial here, a little basic breakdown of how this game plays out.
There's going to be a drone that spawns in the middle of the map. A lot of the spawns for the drone on some of the maps, not exactly in the middle, but that is the drone in his hands. It's going to spawn neutral to both teams, and you're going to see them fight over that drone control. If you're able to throw it into the other team's portal, you're going to get 1 point. If you're able to run it all the way in, kind of dunk it home, you're going to be able to get 2.
All right, well, now we see Attach pushing in with the VNP, the sub of choice, really, once you see that Vesper taken out. Now, it still seems, we've been wondering, if the CUDA is going to become more of a common occurrence here, but still looks like the VMP is going to be the one of choice. Just barely able to stay on the map is going to be Clayster. He's been tagged up by what seems like every player of the opposition. He's got the drone in his hands, trying to wrap bottom side here. Can he get the 1-pointer? And nice toss coming in from Clayster as he is able to get on the board.
I think, do you think in uplink the first score is as important as in CTF? I don't think so. I think uplink is such a game of swings and momentum that if you're able to get a team to spawn trap, you're able to make up a ton of points. Not exactly sure
certainly
that
more
first
important.
Score is as important.
No, I mean, on certain maps, I think the first break is really important.
I think the first break's huge in every map.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is. I mean, because you can, like you said, it's momentum-based. You can really put up, 3, 4, 5 points at the rip. But look at that. You see Faze score first. Envy answers right back with the dunk. CTF, I think, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that first score on CTF is just huge, huge, huge. It changes how the game plays entirely.
And this is going to be a 2v2 here at the Envy base. You see Attach doing a nice job running around that corner, using the movement with the drone. Going to answer with a 2-point play of himself. And Zooma set up at mid-map. They're going to be able to get control of the drone again. It looks like Ake's in control of it now, just trying to throw it off the map and trying to buy his team some time to get back towards that drone spawn.
And Clayster, in the power position of choice here.
Yeah, an XR2.
Top broken, XR2. And you can see, that white marker on the minimap at the top left, or you can kind of see it on your HUD here as well. That drone spawning right top middle of the screen. It's all about controlling that. If you can control the drone spawn effectively, it really allows you to get forward. You see 2 kills picked up by Faze. This should be a dunk depending on the spawn. Now let's look where they're spawning. There is one in the back of the map that's going to be Aches who has a chance. He's going to drop pretty much immediately. Slasher will be the next one in, but he's got 2 people to deal with, and you saw the player soaring in for the dunk now. Faze starting to pull away a little bit as they've got a 5-2 advantage. Enable got a 1 streak going. He's 8-3.
He's going to try and melee that player.
He tried to get in. I want to switch to Clayster for a second as he was on a 5 streak.
Do you think Enable would actually just made it straight through the back?
Potentially, might have been able to had he just completely ignored that player and gone for it. As I thought for a second he killed himself with the HC, but he is able to pick up Jkap, who pushed him there on drone spawn.
You're going to see Enable wrap all the way down this left side. It's going to be 3 dead, 4 Faze. You see Attach not going to push out, going to try and hide, pick up players to the opponent's base, and look at the timing right there. Turns to his left, player looking directly where he was actually staring at before. It's going to be Jkap with the drone in hand. Should be able to put this one in, and he's going to barely make it. I thought he was going to fall a little bit short.
So did I. I thought he was just going to miss it. Now, Matt, talk to me a little bit about the difference, really, when you're talking about spawn timers, and why your life is so much more important in this particular game mode versus something like Hardpoint.
Obviously, there's going to be a respawn delay in this game mode. No respawn delay in Hardpoint. So, obviously, you need to play your life a little bit better. You see, like, when Attach was all alone in the middle of the map, he doesn't want to run out there.
Play.
Yeah, fantastic play, just throwing the drone back at the other player. But you don't want to just run out there and waste your life. You want to actually just play for it. Make sure your teammates can spawn up before you try and challenge yet again. You see here, Envy just playing slow with the drone. They're going to try and just bait out the players of Faze. See 2 kills come in for the side of Envy, and now you see X. He's going to be the one leading the charge. Teepee behind him. This would not be a bad time to use his kinetic.
If he pops it, that's a dunk.
If he pops his kinetic, that's a little bit of a poor play by Teepee right there.
You get those so quickly. You got tagged up from behind. Yeah. Why not just pop it there? You guarantee yourself a dunk. Right. Yes, maybe you get around the corner.
You're going to get it in the second half of the game as well. Yeah. I mean, you talk about situational specialist use right there needs to pop that kinetic. Would have been a big score.
In my opinion, that's a little bit of a mental area from a player you don't expect it from, but who, there could have been a discussion on the team. They wanted him to save it for something potentially later, but in my opinion, you take the two. Now, Heat Wave comes in. See, I love that. Heat Wave plus the melee gives him a ton of points. Now, can he turn this into a one-pointer? He knows.
He's not in a great position to score here.
And he's already got his Heat Wave back. And he gets it, and the dunk. What a great play by Enable.
Fantastic way to
Just
put it
coming down to the wire.
At the end, you're going to see Faze take round number 1. But we're going to switch sides. Going to add up the scores, Maven. That's how Uplinks played.
All right, now let's see.
Both teams going to get an equal chance on both sides.
Really, really back and forth. I mean, it was tied 5-5 for quite some time until Enable comes up with a clutch play at the end of this one. Switching sides now, 7-5 advantage here for Faze as Enable goes big. Now look, I think he popped his Heat Wave. Does he have? Yeah, he's overclocked. So you'll see that blue perk in the perk 1 spot. It's going to allow him to get his Heat Wave faster.
Well,
I'm pretty sure he Heat Waved. Or did he get Heat Wave in melee that first one?
I think he might have gotten Heat Wave in melee.
Okay, for a second I thought he popped, he got the melee and got it back. I was like,
go back on with Enable as, again, you see something interesting in his class setup. Ante up.
So that's going to get him a little
We don't see too many players use that. I actually believe Dito was using it in a scrim against Optic Gaming the other day. And he just spawns with a little bit towards his score streaks there at the beginning, and you see this is where a gun can be a huge impact. Clay picks up one with the Annihilator, the Scythe comes in, follows it up with Zooma, but that's going to result in a 2-point play from Faze, and that's where you see those guns come into play, Maeve.
Well, let's go to Zooma. He's top in math, and there's the Scythe. You want to see if he can maybe get something done, get control there, do damage with the Scythe, but now Jkap, can he counter? It's been back-to-back dunks coming in for Faze. Wants to reset his armor here. He has the Annihilator. He's got a teammate in front. How does he play this? He needs a little bit of help, just someone to distract so he can fly in and score. That might have been just enough, and it was. Good distraction from his team. Also picks up the kill on Enable in the base. Now, Drone spawning mid-map again. It's going to be Attach and Crew trying to get control here of bottom broken as they're going to be pushing through.
I think things could have made it a little bit easier right there if they would have handed that drone off to Teepee. Does Teepee still have kinetic?
I'm checking on Teepee now.
No, he used it. So he probably used it to kind of guide Cap in there with that push. But Cap with the Annihilator definitely could have made a big play there in the back. You're going to see Slasher try and line up a one-point throw. Gonna knock it down. You got to hit those one-point throws, Maeve. How many players do we see they set up for a one-point throw and they just miss? I mean, it's so important. It seems like it's such an easy thing to do, but some of the times those one-point throws and the angles you can get them at are hard to knock down.
And here you saw use kinetic armor to get out of mid-map. They're going to be spawning out right now. He's got a chance. He goes for the one-point. Wise play.
I like that play.
Because you saw, if you were looking at the minimap, they kind of spawned pretty close to the base. There was no one able to force them out there. So they were spawning right in front of Attach. He does a good job getting to the one-pointer. Now does he try to go for the dunk? Clayster says, screw it. My teammate Enable picked up the kill. Let's fly through. Let's get the dunk. They've got a 4-point advantage here,
Enable was doing a great job just locking down bottom broken. He's there with the AR. He doesn't push in with Attach. Try and help him, just locks that down, keeps those players spawning on the left-hand side, and able to result in 3 points in favor of Faze.
All right, now the push going to be coming from Envy. It's going to be Slasher with the drone in hand. He's going to wrap left side. He's got 2 teammates to push with him. Look at the minimap. The red flying across. There's 1 player to play defense, trying to hold this off. They're going to pick up the kill that was needed. He should have a dunk here. We're just waiting, I think, for his full health through reset as he's going to fire through. Now you've got Axe. He's going to be the next man that's important because he's set up mid-map. He's ready to grab this drone as soon as it comes off spawn. He drops it to the bottom of the base, and I believe that's going to be... I thought they had a player set up inside to pick it up. It's Slasher. He's still trying to wreak havoc. I thought they were trying to throw it into bottom for him to just grab and get forward.
I think Slasher actually might just be playing for streaks at this point.
Well, he picks up the drone carrier. He's getting really close to streaks. He is, because he's 75 off. He needs 1 more kill. Can he get it? No. Had to reload.
I was going to say, he's only got 8 bullets in that. But no, unfortunate there for Slasher. Not
he had a dunk, I think, too. If he grabbed that one, I mean, they were spawning out. And he might have had a chance to get their dunk because his position was so precarious, being really right inside the base. Does he get the 1-pointer off? He does.
Nice shot by Enable right there.
3-point advantage for Faze. 90 seconds on the clock right now.
And that from Envy, they should have been able to convert that to at least another 1. And you have Slasher set up in the other team's face. You have a Scythe mid-map.
Nice
have drone control, and that is a great way to use that momentum system for movement by Zooma. Going to challenge that gunfight. Really had no other options at that point. Enable can actually make a big play here with Heat Wave. going to get one. Did he get the other player underneath broken as well? No, he's going to actually just take the drone and run.
This is perfect.
He's got teammate support on his right.
This is perfect. They tossed it right to him. Well, not perfect for Envy, but perfect for Faze.
Yeah.
They tossed it to him. He's got, sort of a lead blocker, but that player comes from lower glass, able to pick it up, but they're still attached. It's going to have it in hand. He should be able to get two. He had kinetic if he needed to pop it there. Doesn't even have to use it. They've got control. 50 seconds left, up 5. This is looking like it's going to be a Faze 2-1 advantage in this series.
And Envy goes on the overextension. They go through Palace, trying to get that drone control. They're able to get it, but look at this. Jkap just trapped in the middle of the map. He's going to be able to take out one. You see Ace takes out another behind him. 30 seconds left, down 5. Maven, I don't want to say it's impossible. We've seen crazy comebacks before, but definitely improbable.
Oh, no! Oh, it stays on. It stays on. If that would have fallen off, that would have been absolutely detrimental here to any sort of last-second hope. They get a dunk. Now, who's set up mid-map? This kill is going to be huge. It's Clayster, though, that's going to possibly be able to grab Sagon's melee. That should close any hopes and dreams for the boys in blue to come back in this one.
It's a tough way to go out right there. Just getting meleeed by the drone. I don't think Cap's able to make a play there, though, if they're able to pick it up. You're still down 3. You would need another score after that. I think the game was kind of over at that point.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
It's a huge play.
I don't even know yet. Like you said, if there was enough time on the clock to even get it there, even if they had the perfect plays, could they have done
another play after that
and a 1-point toss,
to even get there? So I don't think it's possible for Envy to even make that comeback.
Well, you see Faze get, what, is it every single night we've had a Game 5 to kick things off?
Oh, shot, fast hands.
What do you know?
Envy hasn't really come back with any type of counter. Like, I feel like Envy is just playing these bans like really safe, right? They haven't done anything to kind of attack Faze. They're just letting Faze just attack them in the ban and protect Faze. And clearly, I think we've seen 2 respawns at this point. Fast Hand's gone in both. Faze has taken both of them. Definitely affecting Envy a little bit.
Next up was Slasher. Vesper, it's been number 2 really after the Fast Hands. And then Attach is going to take out the Shiva. I mean, I think the Shiva favored them the most probably in that S&D, but obviously CTF, a very, very different beast.
This, I think they're trying to get a Pharaoh in play. Or, I mean, now do you look at, okay, the Pharaoh goes, what about M8 rapid fire?
I mean, M8 is going to be very effective. I mean, this has kind of some fights that are between kind of close and long range. Do you think like a Man of War could be suitable here?
Do we see the ban of the M8 here? Because we saw how good Clay and Zooma and Enable are with the XR2, trying to throw Cap off his game a little bit. I mean, we saw Aix use the, now we're going to see High Caliber go, but we saw Aix use the XR2 last game. Cap, dominant player with the M8. Can't stress that enough. He is dangerous with that gun, man.
Well, I think most common, we're going to see M8 with rapid fire will be the big one. Is there any other rifles you could see? I mean, we know how deadly the Man of War can be with rapid fire. This map, though, I feel like the engagements, a lot of them are longer range. The Man of War is not as deadly. I'd even prefer kind of an ICR at that longer range. So probably XR2, M8 going to be the 2 real popular ones. Probably one player going to be running a sub. Do you do, I guess, VMP with rapid fire would be the big one? Would it be better than the Kuda? Kuda's a little easier to control maybe, but...
It's been a big debate recently. I think I saw Teepee and Aix kind of trying to go back and forth last night. Nope. Is the Kuda better than the VMP right now? And I think on a map like this, I wouldn't be surprised to see more Kuda.
I would take
like able to be able to control it a little bit more.
Much easier to control at range. Yeah, way easier. Absolutely. It's kind of it really like falls right, but you have like a VMP and a Razorback, and the Kuda's like right in the middle, sort of when you talk about kind of that balance, that range, and also being able to use that hip fire up close and personal.
So Overdrive stays in this one. So you're gonna have Attach and Teepee both running Overdrive. You got a Kinetic coming out on both teams as well. You get Slasher and Clay active for both sides and Scythe. So pretty much it's the exact same lineup from both teams. Anything shock you a little bit?
No. I mean, for the most part, this is what you would expect. I'm not surprised to see one weapon here. I know sometimes we talk about maybe having that 2 and 2.
This is the game mode I feel like Heat Wave kind of gets sectioned off in.
You don't have as many engagements. I mean, we've seen games end where it's what people with like 12 kills or something like that. Yeah, the top guy with
kills is 15.
Yeah, so I don't think Heatwave, you're not going to have that situation as much where you're hitting like 2 players, tagging up, breaking into a room. Just not as important, really. Active camo, Overdrive, Kinetic Armor, all assist like they would not playing.
And Scythe makes a lot of sense just because if you have that one player watching the OE, and he has that Scythe, and players are just funneling towards him. Those are 2 or 3 easy kills.
If you have a Scythe to watch tracks or mid-map, I mean, you're going to just melt anyone that really tries to challenge you.
You get the flag out towards tracks. They have to go OE through auto.
Or so you're
10.
backside watching 10. Yeah, I mean, you're going to...
And you're just going to crush.
Really anywhere you can set up
crush.
there. It's going to be very, very easy to lock down with the Scythe. Now, when we're taking a look here, a little bit of a map fly through, give you a shot of the beautiful.
Is this your favorite map?
I think it's a pro player favorite, a caster favorite.
Whenever I see Fringe pop up when I'm in matchmaking,
I love it.
I get so excited.
I love it. Just it's definitely fantastic at every level. You could really play every single game mode on this effectively. It's just one of those kind of perfect maps, in my opinion.
Same, both sides fairly equal. I love the long range fights down tracks. You get the close range stuff over by auto. Then the mid map, you can just wreak havoc if you're a very good AR player with a nice shot. So we got a lot of them in this game. Cap comes in this week with the highest KD.
Well, he had that
ridiculous
first
hard point that we casted. He was like 41 and 12. Yeah, it was like something silly.
He went absolutely nuts there in that one. Now we'll take a look here as we're getting ready to spawn in. Getting a fly through of the map. Just some great shots here. Really, the back bridge.
If you have your overdrive player run overclock, how many times can you get it in a half? They're having a pretty good half. 2.
I mean,
right?
I gotta assume. I want to check real quick.
You're a pretty good player. How many times do you got in overdrive?
Yeah, 15 or so. Let's check. Let's check the overdrive players here. So it's going to be what we're going to have Attach, who will be running overclock, and then let me flip through on the other side. It is going to be Teepee, who will not be. So Attach definitely going to be getting it here. I kind of want to keep an eye. Look where it's at already. Now let's hop over to Teepee. Look at the difference. I mean, I know it's not much, but it's a difference of having it. Like, you can see just the difference already early on.
It's the difference from getting it once to potentially getting it twice.
Look, I think
you probably get it 3 times in a game, and yeah, you see the Kuda, and he's going to be running a smoke as well. So see, Attach and Teep both getting towards the enemy flags, and it's going to be Teep that's going to drop. I think Attach going to be able to get a pull here, Maven, on the other side of the map.
Well, let's flip around, as this could be a counter cap. You saw 2 players pushing. I think that was Aches and Teepee.
He's got players
trying to get aggressive,
all over,
and he's completely surrounded. That should be returned. Flipping over to Zooma, 2-streak, 3-1 right now. He's going to be watching kind of this L push if anyone comes. But you can see the aggression mostly right now is going to be on this track side. It's going to be Teepee and Jkap starting to inch their way forward around the backside of Barn. They're going to have one player to deal with really in the back here. He's set up nicely to hold on. That's Attach.
You see Teep running an AR as well. So is Envy going with 4 ARs on this map?
Can you cycle through them
real quick
I'll
for me while I'm watching this one? So that'll be interesting. And
so he's got his overdrive. Where's Teepee at? Oh, look at the difference. Now, granted, Attach is 2-1, Teepee's 1 and 2, but his is up. I'm just showing you guys the bottom right of your screen is what you want to check. I'll switch back real quick to Teepee. Look where he is. He hasn't even earned his yet, and Attach is out.
Gone.
Attach has got a cap. So that overclock, okay, well, I take it back. Maybe not. It's going to fall. Sorry, to
They're going to get a cap out of it, but I mean, look at that. He's gonna get it another time in this game. And look, Enable's gonna get active off of that one. So Envy not running any SMGs as well. So they're all gonna be running ARs. And it's interesting, right? Like, you can play fast with an AR, but normally people don't. And it's just odd because you think you can play the same, but just because you have the AR in your hand, it just makes you play a little bit different.
Well, Attach is going to win a gunfight. He's the one running the sub, trying to do as much damage as he can on this left side, and he just guns Eggs. Picks up another one. The young got Attached.
That was nutty.
Going big, but he has some help here as his teammate's going to grab the flag. Now, this is where you'd like to have a rifle. His teammate's going to get cut down, I think, from top grandmas. Can't Attach, get out. The slide comes in. It's effective. Doesn't decide to go little rim. Wants to wrap around the back. He should be home free.
Man, look at how fast he's going.
Yeah, he's got this. Great movement there from Attach, as he has been the difference maker in this game. Again. That's insane. And where is Teepee have his first one yet? Teepee now has his. Okay.
But you just see him. The time that it took Teep to get 1, Attach gets 2. And at least the first one results in an easy cap for Faze.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Teepee could have had it for a little bit, but still, it's not really 2-1 unless you're really outplaying. Well, it is right now, just because the big difference too. Attach is 3 and 5. Sorry, Attach is 6 and 2 on a 4-streak. Teepee's 3 and 5. So it's like the overclock with the addition of having a better game right now is just all the difference. And Clay's got another one out, and this should be home free because Zooma's going to be watching the overextend. This is a 3rd cap. They're just rolling over Envy right now in CTF.
Yeah, and things are going to get scary for Envy too because Clay 150 away from streaks. Where's did Attach end up getting anything more than an RC?
I'll check it on
spawn, but
yeah, let's take a look. He's fully streaked out.
And then let's go back to Clay. Clay's got 2 players pushing him. He's able to get 1. He can pick up this 2nd player I don't think he knows he's to his
he's
left.
behind,
No.
and the timing almost works out perfectly. You see the eyes, but the call's coming in. He sees the flag grab there. He's still playing back rocks. His teammates really clean up everything, and this pressure, they're just keeping eyes on it. They've got him trapped here, basically.
Oh, and Cap actually picks up another one, so Cap doing an incredible
Do they
job
not
to stay
have
alive.
Okay, Cap
What?
is nuts. There was a triangle of players around Cap. Cap might give Envy a chance in this one as he was getting demolished. Does he turn on this player? No, it gets returned there as Cap does
The man needs some
everything he
help.
can.
I mean, that is just a incredible individual play. You see 3 guys go down, 4 Envy in the kill feed. They're going to start
And he's
spawning. In back auto, yep, this is another one.
And that overdrive becoming so important. And a big part of that, again, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, he's running overclock, afterburner, blast suppressor. That's basically your fast class, is what you can call that. It's going to allow you to get overdrive fast. It's going to allow you to hit those G-slides.
3 times here in the first half.
Unbelievable.
And it's resulted in 2 of their caps. Just, Envy, I think, just needs to adjust a little bit of their game and just classes. They play so, I don't want to say like standard or just so safe, but it really is how they play. They play very safe. Don't really like to try a lot of different things.
Has Teepee even used his first overdrive?
Nah.
I think he's had it for several minutes.
Well, he hasn't gotten close to the base. In his defense, he hasn't gotten anywhere. I mean, the team has not gotten map control by any stretch of the imagination.
The difference right now in the game, I mean, you could break it down to the effective use of overdrive in this one for the most part, right?
Yeah, without doubt. And I mean, just look in the slaying department. I mean, we can take a look at the scoreboard
here. The slaying certainly helps.
I mean, Slash has got 4 kills, Aches has 4 kills, Teep has 6, Cap's 11 and 9. He almost makes a inhuman play in their base to get their only flag.
You've seen, I guess you've kind of seen the difference though. I mean, slaying can be very, very important, but like, for instance, Attach, I think picks up like 1 kill, gets out and gets a cap mostly because of the overdrive, whereas Cap doesn't have overdrive. He picks up 2 huge kills in the base, gets out, but since he wasn't able to really get that head start.
In fairness, Cap's a player who probably you will never see run overdrive.
Oh, no. I'm just saying how it can kind of make up for a lack of slaying to some degree. And now you see Attach hit it again, and he's going to have it. How does he decide to wrap? His teammates making call out. Enable gets the big one mid-map. So Enable's the one going huge. He's going to watch the overextend now. How are they going to get through 10? He can pop his camo if he wants to. He's got him lined up already. There's 1. There's a second. Enable closes out. That's a 5th cap coming through for Faze. And that's textbook. Attach goes into barn where he's safe, right? Enable gets that kill mid-map, knows he really has his choice of where to go. Enable then picks up the overextension. I mean, that's as much Enable as Attach's score.
And this is another cap again. Clay pulls the flag right at, actually, well, yep, Clay puts it in. He's actually going to meet Teep at the goal, melee and put it down. CTF, we usually see May have what, 3-1, 3-2 games. This is a 6-0 thrashing of Envy here in CTF. It's not a great performance by them, and this is a team that really hasn't lost like this. I think it's just coming down to their class setups. Faze doing a nice job in the pre-match stage, throwing them off a little bit. This one, overdrive makes it in. They
Look at the streaks on Faze right now. Envy's giving up.
Yeah, and this is Enable with camo. He's going to be able to grab the flag, get out, brings it right towards Clay. And you see the guys on Envy, they've all rotated back towards their base. Clay wins 2 gunfights, and that's it. I mean, they rotate all the way back.
They've got nothing to do. I mean, they can't go mid-map because Zooma's set up here just perfectly. And Enable's got a free ride home. 7-0. This is one of the more dominating CTF games we've ever seen. I mean, the domination has just been absurd from the side of Faze as Enable just crushes one there mid-map. So Enable's got full streaks. Clayster has Lightning and Hellstorm. Attach was fully streaked out a while back. I didn't even check to see if he used any of his yet. We'll see the Lightning going to be coming in. Can he connect on anything? Not able to. But Attach still has streaks as well. So, I mean, this one, I know it's 7-0, but it's beyond over.
It'd be extremely difficult to see Envy coming back with the way they played. You're going to see the 2 players from Envy in the Faze base. Attach wins 1 gunfight. He's got another one directly to his right, and he's done a great job with the Kuda as well. They're just putting pressure on the other team with that SMG.
Well, they're going to get one out. It's going to be Jkap that has, there's a player waiting for him right around the corner, really to kind of run him home. And you'll see Zooma is waiting in the back, though. for this potential push. He can grab the flag if he wants to push a stalemate. Instead, he says, screw it, I'm getting the kill. Teammate grabs the other one, attracts, and that's going to be a return. The streak comes in as
and that's just unfortunate for Envy. Like, you think you're going to be able to get at least one there in the last few seconds?
Don't do it to him. Don't do it to him. Attach uses the movement, goes vertical so he can't see him through the door, and just absolutely blows up Teepee. Teepee and Slasher right now 7-17. They want this series to be over and forget about this one for sure.
Yeah, but there's players contesting Attach here at home, and he's going to slide right on by one. You have Enable pick up a kill in the kill feed in this one. Now they're just kind of running the score up, Maven. You see the
we have a side flag runner.
Yep, we do have a side flag runner. You're going to see streaks come in. It's going to try and challenge Jake's. Not going to win that gunfight, but
they're still going to score.
Yeah, they might actually bring this one in.
It's on Attach really at home to kind of defend this.
He's going to be able to at least get one here, you'd think. Yep, he's going to get one. Zooma picks up another one.
He saw that player's head, I think. He's going to wrap around perfectly. He should be able to pick up an easy one. Yep, there he is. Gets to Attach 17-8. 4 caps, 4 streak.
He's just done a great job playing an SMG on this map. We talk about how hard it is to play an SMG role on a map like Fringe with the long lines of sight. You know, Teep switches over to an AR on this map just because it's so difficult. Attach with the Kuda, just using the movement, picking the best routes to run, you know, with the flag, and then without it to get in positions where he's going to win gunfights. And also, I mean, granted, the guy's had some fantastic shots long range with the Kuda, able to win some gunfights at range as well. Just an unbelievable game here from Faze.
Yeah, I apologize to Envy fans. I know we've been spending a lot of time kind of highlighting and watching from Faze's POV, but honestly, I mean, if you're trying to learn how to be a better player, kind of play like the pros, you've seen some textbook play when it comes to flag running, to control of mid-map, to watching over extensions, to class setups, how to use your specialist abilities. They've really been doing it all in this one, and this should be another score for Attach. He has 5 caps.
Well, if you wanted to figure out if Overdrive was effective on CTF or not, you just had an SMG player put up 5 caps, 10 caps overall for the team. But really, you can kind of give him 6, right? The Enable one at the beginning, you can kind of say goes towards Attach, and you see right here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he got it, what, almost to the end of tracks, I think, right?
Like,
and then Enable grabbed it.
Away.
Yeah,
right. So you really kind of get, say, 6 caps came at the
that
hands
worked out
of
perfectly because that came, the Overdrive got it there.
Oh,
that gave Enable, I believe, his camo as well.
It's a little bit of a melee there at the end, the final kill cam. You won't see that too often.
10-0. Faze rolls. They take the series. They look strong. I mean, the only one they dropped was really the Game 2 S&D when Attach was having some connection.